Going live today, of course, is 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, and I'm going live on Amazon Live. I'm just waiting for the signal to come through, and I can actually then start the broadcast. Okay, so we're going through to Amazon Live. Okay, just waiting for the signal to come through onto my iPad, and then the broadcast can start. It's sunny in Wiltshire today, but it's a bit windy, so I'm told. Okay, and we're going live on Amazon Live, and we've got 12 seconds to spare. That's good going. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight Logitech Litra Lite, and if I go over here, it's time to take the card down and say hello and welcome to this live broadcast on Amazon Live. And the first thing I'm going to do is introduce you to what's on the frame today. First thing is that we have my second camera. Okay, that's me. This is the camera that's on the Microsoft Surface Book 2. High quality camera. Been told that this might be as good as external cameras. Okay, back to all of us. So we've got the second camera, and I think if I go here, we also have a third camera, and that's the one that's looking down on the demonstration area. When I'm doing any demonstrations, it's live, by the way, I can actually use that area. This is lights, camera, action. We're going to be talking about webcams. We're going to talk about audio gear, Fitbits, microphones, and live video. If you have any questions about any of those, then please do ask in live broadcast, and welcome as you're watching live on Amazon Live. And if that weren't enough, I'm going to be talking about Logitech C920x and the fact that it comes with 3 months license to XSplit VCam, my favorite background removal software. And we're going to start off with, in a moment, with Logitech Litra Lite. Okay, as demonstrated there by Daniel Zigman of Logitech on a podcast by Marco Novo about 3 weeks ago. Okay, back to me. Okay, now you've probably noticed that I am now broadcasting, and it's turning out rather well, so I'm going to continue. It means I've got to redo all my photographs, because every single photograph I've got, including this one, actually includes me with the glasses on. So I need a glasses off photograph for promotional purposes. I've tried using screenshots, that doesn't work, so I'm going to coax Angelica into taking another one. Okay, broadcasting today on BeLive. BeLive is my favorite platform. That's their logo over there, be.live, and 8 people on screen, YouTube video, images. You'll see everything during this live broadcast from BeLive from my studio. And what I'm going to do is go back here, and thank you for watching Amazon Live. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Hopefully I'm going to answer some of your questions during the show, and if you've got questions, all you can do is type them in the comments. If you type your comments, if you say where you are, anything you like, start a conversation, talk to each other if you know each other. This is an interactive show, but to be interactive, you need to make the first comment, then I'll talk about it and we'll get to know each other. So my second camera, I'm going to switch off. Okay, so that's that camera gone. Okay, I'm going to switch my other camera off. So I've only got my camera. You know that you're watching lights, camera, action now, so I can hide that. I don't need the video until later, so I'm going to hide the video if I can find it. Okay, which leaves me on screen with the start of a story, really. And it's highlighting the carousel. It's a Logitech Litra Lite, which was released January 2022. So it's only just over 2 months old. And I first saw the Logitech Litra Lite on a broadcast hosted by my good friend Marco Novo in Portugal. And he and I get on famously and broadcast together. And he was on Amazon Live, because I actually watch Amazon Live broadcasts as well as actually appearing in them. I actually watched them. And I saw Marco with Daniel, and Daniel, as you can see, was demonstrating this light. Now, if I go picture in picture, you can see the light better. Just a second, you see Daniel better. But if I take off the logo, you'll be able to see even better than that. Okay, and I'm going to shrink myself. Okay, we have the technology, we just need to use it. I'm going to shrink myself, so now I'm on the bottom. So there I was 3 weeks ago watching the show with Marco and Daniel, and Daniel demonstrated the Logitech Litra Lite. Now, I dismantled my lighting, which was 2 softboxes side by side, and I was looking for a new light, and it just so happened, happenstance, this is how things happen. Daniel showed the light on Marco's show, which is an English term for pretty darn good, and I went off to the Amazon.com page by clicking the link in the carousel. Took me to the normal Amazon.com page, as I was able to find out more about the light because I knew nothing. And after a bit more research, I ordered 2 of these. One of them is actually, well, if I switch the light on, you'll see that I am now brighter. Okay, and I'm brighter because I'm now being lit by one of these. I bought 2 of them so that I could actually show you one of them, and the other one will be working. So this is the Logitech Litra Lite. What I'm going to do is show you how the light works, and then I'm going to show you how you can control the light with software. Okay, because Logitech Litra Lite comes with software which is on Logitech G-Hub, which is well known to gamers and proven software, and you can control this light using the software. So let's come to me. Cursor. Okay, this is Logitech Litra Lite, and this is how it comes when you get it. You've got cellophane around from there, you've got cellophane on the back. Just take that off and recycle it. You don't need it anymore, right? Because the light, that's it. You prepared it. Now, next thing you do is you lift up the small shelf, yeah, and that's how this light affixes on your monitor. Mine is pointing at me at the moment. Now, it's not an invasive light, it's a soft light, it's not intrusive, it doesn't get in your way, and you can see the size of it. It is, well, comparing this to my 2 soft boxes, it's like chalk and cheese. I mean, the 2 soft boxes took up about a quarter of my office, nearly. This takes up very small space on the top of my monitor. So you put it on top of your monitor, and, well, no, before you do that, okay, supplied with the light is the cable. You put the cable into the light, and that's it. Okay, now the light itself, you can switch the switch on the back. Okay, so now the light is on, and I'm being lit by 2 Logitech Litras. You only just need 1 for broadcasting on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Okay, you need 1. I've got this to kind of demonstrate to you. The power cable is supplied by Logitech, and it just plugs into your PC or Mac. Okay, now you need to plug it directly into your PC or Mac, otherwise the software won't work. Now, I hope that they're making changes to that, but as we only need 1 light, just put it directly in and you can switch it on. And on the back, you can see the ability to actually change the temperature and to change the brightness. So you can adjust this light just using the controls on the back. Now, in addition to that, if I switch this off for a moment, okay, so I'm switching it off, it goes off. There are things that you can do with this light before you switch it on. First thing, you can adjust the height. There are 5 height settings so that you can take it higher and higher yeah, until you've got to the full length. Okay, so that's the extension of the light. Then, if I come down again, you can bend it forward, okay, to an angle of about 80 degrees, and mine's like that at the moment. It's on my monitor, it's on that setting, and it's pointing down at me, it's giving light. Okay, it's lighting me. As well as being able to adjust it from its original position, you can also twist it to the right, twist it to the left. So it's very versatile. Okay, you can get this light to point wherever you wish. Okay, so it could be on the side of your monitor pointing that way, or the other side pointing that way. Mine is straight in front of it pointing down. And as I say, it's an angle like that. Now, that's the monitor mount, and it's very stable. I have to say, you'd have to push it. If you knocked it, it wouldn't move, but if you pushed it, but what you can do, if you wish, is you can remove the light from this supplied Logitech stand and put it onto one of your tripods. Okay, so you've got your tripod with 3 legs, and you can take the light off there, and it's got the thread, so you can actually just screw this into the bottom of the light. The benefit of that is that you can then use this light anywhere on your desking. It's not fixed to your monitor then. So that's the monitor. That's, well, that basically is freedom, because you can then put it anywhere on your desking and point it any which way you want. And as we've just seen, you can adjust the height, yeah, so that it's pointing wherever you want it to point. Bend it down, turn it sideways, get it so the light is on you. Now, as I just said, the manual settings are on the back. Now, if I was to reach over the monitor now and adjust the light, that would not be good, especially live broadcast. What you actually need, and what I love, is when hardware has software that goes with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a screen share, okay, and I'm going to share my screen in a minute. It takes a second or two, and I'm going to share the software that controls this light, because you're not restricted to manual on the back, yeah, on and off, brightness and color. You can actually use software to achieve exactly that. This is the software, okay. This is a piece of software called Logitech G-Hub, and Logitech G-Hub is well known to gamers, and in addition to controlling lights, it can also control, as you see, the Brio camera there. We're actually concentrating on the lights, but this software controls your cameras as well. Let's go with the Litra Glow, and you can see it's on at the moment. So let's come side by side, and you've now got, thank you to Daniel and Marco who introduced me to this light. I'm going to hide them, and we're going to come to me this way around. I'm going to go side by side. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just change up slightly in my Be Live studio so that I get the effect that I'm looking for to tell you about this. And there we are. Studio is now sorted. The software over there, Logitech G-Hub, actually controls not this light, but the light that's actually on at the moment. Now, with the software, this is what you can do. Okay, now when you get the light, you plug it directly into your Mac or PC, download the software from logitech.com. Having done that, you install it. It will see your light straight away. You do not need to do anything else other than install the software. Logitech G-Hub. If you go to logitech.com, search for, just a minute. Okay. Search for, I'll put myself full screen. Search for the Logitech Litra light. That's it. That's its packing. It's orange. I love orange packaging. I don't know why. It's just a thing, I suppose. But the Logitech Litra light. You can scan the barcode on the packaging to actually go directly to the software. Okay, just want to note that. the software has 6 presets. What we're going to do is, using the software which is on my desktop, I'm going to go to the first setting, and the first setting, if we look at it, is quite bright. Now you've got to understand, I have no other lights on other than the Logitech Litra. My curtains are closed, so we're actually seeing light, literally. So the first setting is rather bright for me. It's not early in the morning, but I don't want to be lit that brightly. So let's go on to the second one. And the second one is cozy daylight. That's a bit better. Okay, so we're getting same light, different settings. What's happening is that we have got presets which use different levels of temperature and different levels of brightness. So if I go for the third one, we're going to go through just the different settings. Okay, and we're getting closer to the one I like. Okay, to me, this is pretty close. This is pretty natural. Now, the Litra is warm, natural light to enhance your skin tones. It's not in your face, and the light which is above me is not distracting me at all. Yeah, it's a very soft light, and we'll find out the main features in a moment. If I go on, then the next setting is soft sunset. This is quite possibly my favorite. Okay, because this it's all personal choice, is this? Yeah, it's your personal choice of lighting. It's how you want to be lit. The next setting down is, and this is, I like that one. Now, those are the presets that are supplied by Logitech. If I go here, you've got one that I've done. This is nothing to do with Logitech. You can set up your own preset. I've not done very well. So what we're going to do is, with the software, I can adjust the temperature. So I can go from very warm to freezing. Okay, and you notice how different it looks. And I'm going to go about halfway. Okay, so I'm neither hot nor cold. I'm in between, and I'm just on the edge there. I want to go down a bit. Okay, and then brightness wise, I could go right down to the bottom on brightness. That effectively turns the light almost off. Or I can ramp up the brightness until I get to the level that I'm happy with. Okay, and that is reasonable. Okay, so the software controls the light. You've got presets. You've got the ability to set your own preset. You can switch the light on and off using the software. It will control more than one Logitech Litra light. Now, the light itself, down in the carousel at the moment, is $59.99. And I did, after I got rid of my old lighting, I did 3 weeks with no lighting at all, which was interesting, let's say. And then I discovered Marco and Daniel talking about light, got the light. I've been using it now for 3 weeks. I cannot find, there is only one thing that I have found to be a problem. Okay, because this is an honest review. If you do not plug this light directly into your PC or Mac, then the software on the right hand side will not work. You can control it manually. Okay, now it's forever on my mind that, and this is a rant. Okay, this is an official rant. Okay, we spend thousands of dollars on new computers, be they PCs or Macs, and there are never enough USB-A ports for us to plug the darn things in. There's nowhere to plug it in. Okay, I've got one plugged in. I've got one controlled by the software. But if I plug this into my Microsoft Surface Book 2, I'd have to unplug my camera and you won't be able to see me. Why manufacturers cannot put 4 or 5 USB-A ports on a new computer, technically there's no problem. It must be a reason. There must be a reason for it. I don't know what it is. If you do, then please put something in the comments. Okay. Do say hello. And thank you for watching me. But that's my little rant. This will only work if you plug it directly into your PC or Mac. The software works perfectly. Everything works perfectly. No problems on that score. Everything works as you expect it to. And the quality of the lighting, if I just go back full screen again and I switch the lighting off, you can see that I've gone dark. Okay. Without the lighting, it looks reasonable. It looks okay. But as soon as I switch the light on, I'm illuminated. I think I actually take power from the light itself, but I'm more energetic because the light is right. I feel better for having good lighting. And for $59.99, I can only say this lighting works. Every time I go live and I talk about this, and I'm talking about it on Amazon Live today, then I sell product on Amazon. Yeah, I sell this. People are buying this light. My friends are buying this light, okay, because they've seen me demonstrate it. I demonstrate it on Facebook as well and give the Amazon links. So I know this is people who've got this light are very happy with it. I'm one of them. I've got 2 of these. So Logitech Litra Light, if you're broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, or Zoom, and you want good lighting, where you are now, take this light, put it on top of your monitor, switch it on. That's it. You have good lighting for $59.99. And I've looked at comparative products, and lighting can cost you $200. It can be. I looked at lighting. Just a minute, let me put this down safely. I looked at lighting, and the lighting was about 18 inches, yeah, light, and it lit the whole studio. We don't actually need in these days of personal broadcasting to light the whole studio. All we need is to light ourselves. And the Logitech Litra Glow, that's the box, does the job perfectly. And my friends are saying, I was live earlier today on a show that's been running 6 years on Facebook called Blabbing for Britain. And that's myself and 2 friends, John and Peter. And Peter told me on Tuesday that he had bought a Logitech Litra light. He sent me a photograph of it. And he was on the broadcast this morning, and this is honest truth, this is my perception, obviously, but I've never seen Peter looking so good on camera as he did this morning when he was actually lit by the Litra light going down on him. Right, so you've got my say-so, you've got Peter's say-so, you've got Chris and Jim, all have bought Logitech Litra lights. And I'm happy with my purchase. And thank you for listening to me talk about Logitech Litra Light. Okay, I suppose it's time, as we've got here, to say welcome to the how carried away then. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen Healey, and you are watching Stephen Healey live from Wiltshire in England. I just want to change that slightly, because that's rather overpowering, isn't it? If I change theme, okay, and I come over here, then that shrinks. Okay, that's better. Okay, because what I want to do before we move on, the thing about presenting live, as I've just been talking about the Logitech Litra Light, is that I may miss something. So at the end of every product, what I'm going to do is a quick rerun of the main features of this light, and just to switch that off, okay, just a minute, we'll get there. I want to switch that off, okay, and I want to go here, here, and okay, the light premium LED streaming light, and it's designed for streamers. Logitech are well known for cameras, C922, 920, 922, 25, 930 Brio, which is what you're watching now. And this is their first light. This is the first light from Logitech, released in January 2022. So if you've not heard of it before, it's because it's just getting known. Okay, second point about this light is it uses TrueSoft. Now this means this is Logitech lighting technology, and it means that it's a warm light. It's not a harsh light as my softboxes were. Next thing is it's going just one monitor mount. We saw that not only can you adjust the monitor like that, okay, easily, but you can also switch it and put it on a tripod. Okay, so adjustable. I think I'm doing well. Okay, so brightness and color temperature controls on the back and on the software, as we saw, and it's a desktop app which I showed you. I've demonstrated the desktop app, so you've actually seen that, and it's for natural skin tones and a radiant look. So my question to you is, do I look radiant? Okay, you don't have to answer. Okay, just going through the features, it is safe for all-day streaming. Now, I do stream a lot, but I don't stream all day. But if you're a gamer and you're streaming for 8 hours at a time, I can tell you, I'm not going to touch it, but the light does not get hot, doesn't get overheated. It's quite happy being on 24/7. The next item is its freedom of placement. We talked about that. We talked about the fact that you can put it on a tripod, and you've been looking at the fact that it uses Logitech's G-Hub app, which is software that's been around a couple of years, and that will control your light if you plug it directly into your computer. Okay, right. Thank you for watching live on Amazon. I'm just going over to my iPad, which I need to actually run these Amazon lives. If you have any questions, okay, just a word of explanation. Let's just take that off screen. I'm an independent broadcaster. I don't work for Amazon. I do market Amazon goods, but I do not work directly for Amazon. My colleagues, my fellow broadcasters, exactly the same, all independent broadcasters, all with specialist knowledge about the products down in their carousel. I own over 75% of the items in the carousel. If you've got a question about an item in the carousel, ask. Yeah, this is a free tech consultation with you. You can ask me any questions you want about any of the products in the carousel. If I can answer, I'll answer straight away. If I can't answer, then I will find out. Yeah, this is a one-stop tech shop on Amazon Live. This is a free resource. If you're watching me, you're on amazon.com/live, and I'm just happy to be here. And I'm going to comment. I'm actually broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Got a comment coming from Roland, and Roland saying, good afternoon, Roland. We're live on Amazon Live today. Link, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook at the moment, the link to join me on Amazon Live is up above. And if you click that link, it will bring you directly into Amazon Live, which is the best place to watch, as we know. And over to Corinda. Corinda's a good friend in London. Roland, to point out, Roland's actually in Wiltshire in England, as I am. And Corinda is just outside London. So Corinda, thank you for joining me. Okay, right. I've been broadcasting now for 6 years, just over 6 years, before Facebook Live started. So I've done, let's just say, more than 2,500 broadcasts over those 6 years. Learned a lot. I learned a lot from a lot of people. I made hundreds of friends all around the globe, and we all started using our own computers, be they Windows or Mac, and we used the camera and the microphone that was in the computer because we didn't know of anything else. And we broadcast on Blab for quite a while. Then Facebook Live started. When Facebook Live started, people said, I want to look good on camera. My internal camera is okay, but I want to look better. And we all went to Logitech, and we all went and we all bought this. I'm going to show it you now, and it's down in the carousel. Okay, the camera I'm showing you now is the Logitech C920x. This is it. Just over to Corinda for a moment. Yeah, Smile Time was around that time as well, Corinda. Right. Okay, on with my broadcast. Okay, down in the carousel now, you can see this camera, the Logitech C920x. Now, the X stands for extra. There's something extra that comes with this camera, which you can get included, makes it even better bargain. Okay, now I know literally hundreds of broadcasters who got this camera and are still using it. I bought this camera. This camera is 6 years old. So in terms of quality, yeah, and longevity, this camera lasts. I know hundreds of my fellow broadcasters are still using this camera. The only reason I upgraded to the Brio you're actually watching now is because I want to broadcast in 4K. This camera can broadcast in 720, which is the resolution you're watching me on Amazon Live and YouTube and Facebook. 720 can also do 1080. Now we can broadcast in 1080 on YouTube. Okay, if you're on, just a moment, just want to say this, I sometimes forget, if you're actually broadcasting on be.live, which is up there, that's the logo, then you can broadcast at 1080p on Facebook. Well, it's the only software house that can actually do that, be.live. So this camera, best-selling camera. It has twin microphones and the lens in the middle. Lens in the middle has a 78-degree field of view. So that's how much the camera can see. Now, when we come on to the next camera, I'll show you what field of view means. But it just means how wide can it look? Is it blinkered or can it look wide? This goes 78 degrees. The Brio, which I'm watching, goes to 90 degrees, which I'm broadcasting on. Now, as far as the camera itself is concerned, just a minute. This is a live demonstration and my cable has gone. It's trying to escape. It is a USB-A connection, which means it plugs directly into your PC or your Mac. Now, because so many millions of these cameras have been sold, your PC or Mac will recognize this camera straight away. To use this camera, you do not need anything extra. Your system will recognize it. And once your system's recognized it, that's step one, to get your system to recognize it. It will then be recognized by Zoom, BeLive, StreamYard, Restream. All the different softwares will actually recognize this Logitech C920. In terms of the camera itself, it actually goes on top of your monitor. If we lift that lens down, then it goes on top of your monitor like that, and you just narrow the gap down until this is secure. And you're actually looking directly at the camera. You narrow the gap until this is secure. It's plugged into your computer. It's going to work from day one. It's going to last, well, mine's, as I say, 6 years old, which is testament to the quality of the build. Now, if I close this gently, you can see that on the bottom of the camera is a socket, a threaded socket. Do you remember this? A three-legged tripod. As well as being able to put a litre of light on the three-legged tripod, you need many of these. As more you have, the better. You can actually put your camera on top of the tripod. Now, this means, and I'm going to do it now, why not? It just screws on. He said, just let me put the legs together. And so I've got hold of it properly. I can just screw it on. And this is now attached to the stand. Okay, you splay the legs out like so. And you can now put this camera anywhere on your desking, anywhere in your room. Okay, as long as you can plug the other end of the cable in. Yeah. And just on that note, just digress for a second. Down in the carousel, you'll also find this. I'm just trying to get hold of it. You'll find this. This is a USB-A extension cable. It's 3 feet, and you can plug this into there, and get an extra 3 feet of cable, yeah, which can be very handy. I mean, I've done that with a litre of light. I plugged the litre and the cable wasn't long enough, so I've used one of these to actually extend the cable length. It's female male connector. You just plug your lead in, okay, the lead, and you've got an extra 3 foot of cable. It's down the carousel. If you swipe on the carousel, you actually see this with its distinctive packaging. I just want to say a word though. I'm getting sidetracked here. Just give me a second. What I do love about this, apart from the fact it's allowed me to extend my cable, is that this is in a packing which is similar to the ones you find on food. It's resealable. Everybody should do that. Everybody should have resealable packaging. But if you need an extension cable, there's one down the carousel. Right, where was I? Okay, back to our Logitech C920. Now, if I go over to my memory in my agenda, we are talking about Logitech C920x, this camera. The X stands for extra. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what the extra is in a minute. I'm not going to tease you for too long. It's full 1080p and 30 frames per second. Okay, that's it at its max. So it's a very good quality camera. It's got the 2 omnidirectional microphones. Omnidirectional picks up the sound all around you. What you actually need is some noise cancellation software. And it just so happens that it's got light correction. If I switch the lights off now, okay, just because I can, switching the light off, you can see I've gone dark. The camera will try to correct for that. Okay, I'll switch the light back on because I prefer to be in the lights. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what the X in extra stands for. Okay, you can see behind me a green screen. Now, I've been using green screen software since January 2019. And I use a particular program to do that. And the program is called XSplit VCam from a company called XSplit. And basically, this will perform background removal on your Logitech C920x camera, which is down the carousel at the moment, $69.99. Now, background removal. Well, I can tell you about it, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you what all this is about. So you get a 3-month license to the software. Okay, this software. Okay, I'm going to go full screen with that. Just give me a second when I find it. Okay, this is the software. Logitech C920x includes 3 months of the software I'm about to show you. I'm going to switch my microphone off and press play. I'll be back. I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice at the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing the button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can right, this, I don't need the Logitech Litra light. I can actually remove that now because you've seen that earlier. The second thing about using background removal software is that with XSplit VCam, you can run a video in the background. So you can go to YouTube, get the URL of the video, and bring it into XSplit VCam, and the video will play in the background as you're actually broadcasting on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. It's that simple. Now, the video itself does need to be public. In other words, if it's your video, not a problem. If it's somebody else's video, then the video needs to be public and embeddable. If it doesn't work, if you choose a video and you can't see it in your background, then go on to the next video. Because if it doesn't work now, it won't work. It's not set to be used in that way by the person who created it. The other thing about playing a YouTube video in the background is there is no sound. Okay. Do beware though that you still can get copyright problems if you were to play the Rolling Stones in the background whilst you were live. No, don't know why you would, but don't know why you would play the Stones, but you get the gist of that. That don't use copyright material. The third backdrop that you can have using XSplit VCam is you can have a web page. It can be any web page that's public, and by default, web pages are public. So again, you just need to put in the URL of the web page, and that becomes your background. Okay. Now you can store up to 100 different backgrounds on XSplit VCam, and you can quickly switch between the backgrounds whilst you're live. Okay. Now, why have a background? If I was in front of this green screen all the time, then it's not very exciting, is it? Being able to change your background means you can change the mood. You can up your game. And if you're on a Zoom call and you've got you're sat in your lounge, you can actually put a background there so nobody can see what's going on. Yeah. So you can mask everything with a green screen. Now, just a hint here before I come on to the fourth way of getting images. Okay, if you are using a background removal tool, then the software houses who produce this software say you can use our background removal software, you do not need a green screen. If you don't have a green screen, then the image will be okay, but what you will notice is your head has a line around it and your hair is blowing in a non-existent breeze without a green screen. You're not going to get perfect without a green screen. You're going to get okay. And people will say, oh, I like your green screen. Okay, software. But they won't notice that what you need is something that's going to give you a near perfect or perfect representation on screen. That's why you need a green screen. The one behind me is down in the carousel. It's the Logitech green screen, and it's reversible. One side is green, one side is blue. You can swap between the two. Okay, you decide which is best. Both work. The next thing is that the Logitech is scrunchable. In other words, it's collapsible. Mine is just propped up against the back wall, as you'll see in a moment. but you can get a stand for it, okay, which means you can move it about. Mine's fixed because it doesn't travel, but if you want to travel, then you can scrunch it up, put it into its case, and you can carry it off somewhere else. Now, a green screen, brilliant for live broadcasting, but it's also great for photography. And if you have a family party and you take your green screen with you, you can take images, photos of people, and then come back, get your favorite software out, and you can put those people anywhere in the world. If you want them to be on Mount Everest, they could be on Mount Everest, but it's because you actually use a green screen that you'll get a near perfect result. Okay, right. And the fourth thing about green screens is if you're using this software, XSplit VCam, there is a fourth way. You can go to unsplash.com, unsplash.com, and this is where photographers from around the world have actually put their best photographs. And you can download the photographs for free and you can use them. The only thing that I do in addition to that is when I find a great background, and there's some amazing backgrounds, yeah, I actually say thank you by sending out a tweet. And that's basically, the background is yours to use, but as a courtesy, if you send out a tweet, it shows that you're using backgrounds, it shows the photographer and gives them publicity and a thank you, and more people get to know about them. So it's a way of getting publicity for photographers. That's where they put their best images on unsplash.com. So that's this camera, which I think this was the first ever camera I got, Logitech C920x, down in the carousel. I'm going to take the stand off it because then we need the stand later in this broadcast. So I'm going to take the stand off, and you see it just takes a second or two, and the two are now separate. I still use this camera after 6 years. It works as well today as it did on the first day I got it. I know hundreds of people using this camera. I switched up to my next camera, which is the Brio, which is down in the carousel now. It's a Logitech Brio. And the reason I'm talking about Logitech Brio today is I'm using it. You've been watching it since you actually started watching me live on Amazon. It is a high quality camera. It's a high spec camera. It's a step up from the 920. The 920 I just showed you is a great first camera, a great gift to give somebody, a great Easter gift. C920x with 3 months of XSplit VCam, great gift. Brio was my next step up, and I took the step to actually use the Logitech Brio. Okay, this is what we're talking about. I'm remembering how to do this now. I've been doing this 6 years and you still forget to do things. We're talking about Logitech Brio 4K camera, which is down the carousel. And today, Logitech Brio camera is 15% off, which is less than I paid for it. But I'm a happy chappy because I've had great use out of it since I got it. It's sat on my monitor. I try to actually look at the camera rather than looking at the screen. It has twin speakers, twin microphones, sorry, and it's got the lens. Now it's capable of 720p, which is what I'm broadcasting at now, 1080p or 4K. I got the camera because I wanted to do 4K, and I can use this camera with a piece of software called XSplit Broadcaster, same people as did XSplit VCam. I can broadcast live from my desktop to YouTube in 4K. Now, I've got to tell you that the difference between 720, 1080, 4K is up there somewhere. Yeah, the quality. Basically, what's happening as the numbers go up, the number of pixels being transmitted increases from 720 pixels to 1080 pixels to 4K. Yeah, that means that the picture is clearer. Now, for reference, 720 is DVD quality, so there's nothing wrong with 720. That's why I'm broadcasting here in 720. Nothing wrong with broadcast on YouTube with, yeah, and 4K, which we can broadcast on YouTube with. Part the Brio. The Brio is a camera. Once you've got hooked by live broadcasting, once you're bitten by the live video book, once you enjoy going live, you're on a journey of continual and never-ending improvement, and improving your camera is part of that journey. And the Logitech Brio is my camera of choice, and it's the one you're watching now. Now, just to go through 1 or 2 points, I'm going to show you when you get the Brio. I can't show you because it's working. When you get the Brio, okay, just like the C920x, plug it into your computer, PC or Mac, the world knows about the Brio. It will be recognized by your machine, and therefore you can use it in Zoom, you can use it in Be Live, Restream, your software of choice, yeah? And they will recognize it straight away. You don't go through, just select your camera, and Logitech Brio will show you the list. Select the Brio, and that's it. You're on camera. That's all I did today. All I did was to select Logitech Brio, and we're away, and we're broadcasting live, and I'm talking to you now on the Brio. Right, but you can plug it in, and it just works. Yeah, it works fine. But if you want to get more out of it, then you can do this. You can go to logitech.com and search for Logitech Capture. Logitech Capture is a piece of software that gives you total control over the camera. Okay, you can do lots of whizzy things that you can plug and play. You don't need to go further than that. But if you want to go further than that, then you need the software. Then just go to the Logitech site and download it. Now, when you download it, I'm just sharing screen again, just give me a second. It will look like this, he said, trying to find it. Okay, I've got it. Okay, and hopefully it's over here. I'm just checking my studio. And it's like playing hide and seek. All right, we've got it. Okay, I'm going to show you the software. This is the software that this software that I'm showing you controls any Logitech camera, whether you've got the 920, 922, 925, 930, or the Brio, or the 270, or the 922x. This software will control your camera. I'm going to hide the video that we showed a moment, so I don't need that. I'm going to get me next to the software. So you've got me, and what I want to do, because I'm going to do some wide angle things, is I just want to change the theme to that one and come back to you. Okay, so this is the Logitech C920 camera. You're looking at it now. On the right hand side is the software that controls the camera. This is what you can do. My apologies in advance for the next bit, because I'm going to zoom in. Okay, now I'm at my optimum settings. This is what I like to look like. But if I press the plus sign here, then what will happen is I will zoom in and I will get bigger and bigger. That's not a good look. That is definitely not a good look. My apologies for that. I'm going to zoom out again. Now, I just want to make a point here. I've been on a lot of broadcasts and a lot of Zoom calls. And I've seen people on the Zoom calls looking like this. Yeah, not like me, but a head, cutting off your head. That is not a good look for live broadcasting. It isn't at all. It's very distracting. We expect to see what we expect to see on camera. And just give me a second. Is this. We expect to see the top of your head. We expect to see headroom. Okay. Headroom is very important. Talking to Lottie Hearn, whose book is down in the carousel, big orange cover, you can't miss it. We need to have headspace when we're actually on camera, because that allows people to actually watch us comfortably. Yeah. As soon as we go like that, it puts people off. You need to be sat comfortably. You need to be positioned in the middle of the screen. You need to be looking at camera, and you need headspace. Okay, right. So that's the first thing you can do with the software. You can actually zoom in and zoom out. Now, if I go side by side like this, you will see my next control is to go left and right. So I'm going to go that way. And you can see my bookshelves. I'm going to go this way. And you can see the wall. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the middle. So you can pan left and right using the software. You can also tilt up and down until you actually get in the position that you want to be. Okay. Now, I spend Sunday nights before going live broadcasting, testing, making sure that I'm in the center of the screen. I've got headroom and I'm set for the rest of the week. And I've got a comment from Corinda. Okay, you've got a comment from Corinda. Thank you, Corinda. It basically, as far as, excuse me a moment, Corinda has thrown me yet again. Just a second, I'm going to gather my thoughts. Okay, so you can get comfortable on camera. You want to be center screen, you want headspace. Okay, you can see the comments coming in. I mean, for example, this one has just come in and I can see in the corner of my eye and they are distracting. Okay, right, so now we've done the major movements, but in addition to going left and right and up and down and zooming in and zooming out, there are other things you can change. Now, as we said earlier, this is a 90-degree camera. It has 3 fields of view. If I go 90 degrees, you can see more of my office. Now, you'll find a lot of people who've actually started out live broadcasting, this is what they look like on camera because they want you to see the surround as well as them. Okay, me, I'm happy when I'm actually at 78 degrees and the only thing that you can see is the green screen behind me. Okay, now this is all a question of confidence, personal choice. It works for me, and this is what we're after, something that works for you. Okay, please yourself first, and because you're happy, it will show on your live broadcast. Okay, and if you want to get up close and personal, you can come to 65 degrees. Yeah, and basically that's a bit too much for me. It's a bit too close. You don't have this, headroom's not there for starters. Okay, so I prefer 78 degrees field of view. Okay, so if I put it on 78 degrees, I'm happy. Okay, now I know I've got a niggling corner up there somewhere, but I can live with that. Okay, now there's the movements. The next thing you can do, if you go to the Advanced tab, I'm going to go to the Advanced tab now. Okay, so the Advanced tab gives us more ways we can actually control how we look on camera. And remember, this is all about getting comfortable. I can increase the brightness, okay, and I'm going to do that. So I increase the brightness, and that's much too bright, and that's much too dark. So all the default settings, I'm always afraid that at some point in a live broadcast, these controls are going to stop working and I'm going to get stuck. The default is 50%. Okay, so the default on brightness is 50%. The default on color is 50%. If I increase this, you'll see I'll go bright red. Yeah, you can use this during the live broadcast. You can change it live. You can take all the color out and go sepia. Yeah, all by controlling the software you've downloaded, Logitech Capture. And I'm going to try and take this back up to 50. Okay, it's sticking, it's sticking, it's sticking. That's as close, 49%. I'm going to stick with that. Contrast, I can change the contrast. Yeah, I can go up and down, and then I can come back to 50% and I'm happy in terms of the contrast. And then auto white balance. If you're in, it won't make any difference now, but if you're in low lighting, tweaking the auto white balance on and off or adjusting it can make a difference. And what you're trying to do is to get the color settings that you want. Yeah, and I'm just going to skip that. To get the color settings that you want. Now I know that through doing that, I have made changes. Okay. Now, one of the things about making changes is that you're getting away from your optimized look. And if you spend a while optimizing, you don't want to go wrong. There is in the software, bottom right hand corner, a reset button. Okay. And I'm going to reset. And when you reset, okay, you do have to make some adjustments. So I need to zoom in a bit. This is live. I'm hoping to get back to where I was a moment ago and to go over here and just to go down slightly, to go up slightly. Right. I think, no, we're not. I need to, just a minute. Demonstrating software live is a great thing to do, but occasionally you take a wrong turn. Anyway, be that as it may, the software that I've been showing you is Logitech Capture. Go to logitech.com, search Logitech Capture, download the software. It will control any Logitech camera, 920, 922, 925, 930, Brio, and the 270. Okay, so that is the Logitech Brio camera. I'm going to comment. And Rome, good morning. I'm fine, thank you. And in my flow and enjoying being live on Amazon Live. Thank you, everybody who's watching me on Amazon Live. I do enjoy being here. Rome is a fellow broadcaster. And Mike TV is saying good morning. Good morning, guys. Okay, to both of you, I want to say this is absolutely wonderful. Thank you for joining me live on Amazon Live today, both Rome and Mike. If you want to put links to your own stores in the comments, then please do. Now, the thing is that, as I explained earlier, everybody who broadcasts on Amazon Live, and Rome and Mike do, has their own page. They are independent. We don't work for Amazon. We're independent broadcasters giving you our thoughts on products that we know, like, and love. Yeah. And we're a community. We have communities on Facebook. We have communities, informal communities. We are good friends, becoming good friends. We get to know each other and we support each other's broadcasts. And it's brilliant to see both Rome and Mike actually live today. And next comment coming in, and Rome has put his link. And you'll notice it's Rome Knows Tech Live, and you can go direct to his page. And we do support each other. I mean, this is the brilliant thing. I mean, ever since I got involved in live video, it's a supportive group. Everybody wants everybody to win. Yeah. So hints, tips, and tricks are freely shared amongst the community, and we help each other and we promote each other. And it's a virtuous circle. Yeah. And, right. Okay. So just so you know, at any time, you can actually click the browse button up above and you'll see the upcoming shows. If you go to Live Soon, and you see your Amazon Live has got a TV channel. You're watching part of it now. If you go to browse and you go to streaming soon, you will see every single show, including Rome's, which is going to broadcast later today, and you can set a reminder. Yeah, you can get a reminder from Amazon when Rome goes live. If you follow me now, or you follow Rome, if you follow somebody, then you may get a reminder about when we go live. Yeah, which is good. Now, the interesting thing, because this is a win-win situation, if you follow me, Amazon sees you following me and says, that's good. And I think that's good too. But the other thing is, if you go to the following tab, you can see all your favorite shows in one place and you can watch them live, or you're ahead of me. You can actually get a reminder for when they do go live. Okay. So this is Amazon Live TV with a group of broadcasting people who are expert in the items in the carousel, and you can ask any of us a question whilst we're live. We love questions. We really love questions. And over to here. And being live means you can't. It's a good comment from Mike. First of all, Rome is saying, yes, we support each other, which is true. And then Mike is saying, being live means you can't edit the mistakes. No, I think that the going live means that, as I am now, I'm going to make mistakes. Yeah. And the only thing you don't do if you make a mistake is panic. You just own the mistake and say, I did wrong there. Okay. Now we've got past the stage where I'm going to tempt fate here. We've got past the stage where there are technical problems. There are us problems that we cause occasionally, and it's going to happen. That's part of the joy of life. And I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to turn that down a bit. Just give me a second. I'm going to turn that off. That's better. Okay, I was a little bit bright for a moment there. In actual fact, what I'm going to do, because I've got all the software open, you wouldn't believe what software I've got open. I'm actually going to change this lighting temporarily. Okay, right. Okay, so I've used the camera settings and the lighting to actually change this so that it works. And Mike, thank you for the comment. Okay, now we're going to change track for a moment and go away. We've looked at Logitech Litra Lite, we've looked at the Logitech C920 camera, we've looked at the Brio, and just as a note, if I go through here, we've actually looked at down the carousel the reversible Logitech green screen, and I'm going to go to, I'm just looking, because when we're live we actually get discounts, so I'm looking through to see which items have got discounts on today, and I'm going to let you know of items. I'm just taking a breather. Okay, I might actually get some music, so I could just actually put music on for a few minutes while I actually scroll. Right, okay, what I'm going to do, the next item on the agenda is I'm going to show you in a second, but I've been doing this desktop broadcasting now for 6 years, enjoy every minute of it, but last year I made a change and I now love broadcasting from my mobile phone too. Broadcasting through your mobile phone is great fun. Yeah. All you need to do, press record. Okay. When I use my mobile phone, this is a Samsung, by the way, down the carousel. When I use my mobile phone, I actually go live. I go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch from my phone. Angelica and I, my partner, who's teaching German at the moment, Angelica and I go out at the weekends and we visit country houses, castles, and national monuments. We live half an hour away from Stonehenge, every stone circle, and we can go there anytime. And when I do, I take my mobile phone and I record video. Now, if I was just recording for me and Angelica, then I could just take the phone. But a phone's got two problems if you're doing mobile video. First of all, you've got to hold the phone in your hand. Now, if you've got an $1,100 or more iPhone in your hand, your concentration is not going to be on what you're filming. Your concentration is going to be on not dropping the phone. Yeah, you're concentrating on grasping the phone so that $1,200 doesn't fall on the floor and smash, which means, in all likelihood, you're actually going to miss your best shots. You will miss them because you're concentrating on the camera. The second problem is a physical one, which we can do. Well, if you're on your mobile phone and you're actually filming, as you walk up and down, your mobile phone moves up and down. As you take each stride, your phone is moving. Now, because we're moving with the camera, we don't notice it. But people watching a replay of your video will notice your camera going up and down. Now, it can be, if you're climbing a hillside, it can go up and down. But in general, it will be gently going up and down. Now, whilst that may be hypnotic, it's not a good experience if you're watching a recorded video on YouTube. So how do you stop the fear of dropping your phone with basically shaking up and down? Okay, the answer is, I need to move a couple of things around here. Just give me a second. When I start off doing these broadcasts, my desktop is clean. When I'm finished, I've got goods stacked everywhere. Okay, and I think I've seen another comment, which I'll come to in a second. This is down in the carousel now. And this is the answer to not dropping the phone. And this is the answer to shaking. Okay, now I need to do a bit of setup on here. So I need to move a few things. Just let me do this. I did put some things on the desktop to actually show you, but the only thing that's happening at the moment is that they're actually getting in the way. So I need a space for my iPad. Do you panic when you make a mistake? Hang on a minute. Just a minute. No. Panic. Right. Okay. Question from Mike. Do I panic when I make a mistake when I'm live? The short answer to that is no. You've got to start with this is live video. Anything can go wrong. The transmission can stop. Your camera can go out of focus. A guest microphone doesn't work. Yeah. All sorts of things can happen. The thing is that over the years, what you actually do is build up a plan B. Okay. And if this camera developed a fault, I've got a second camera to go to. If that develops a fault, I've got a third camera to go to. So you always have a plan B or C in case anything does go wrong. To the question. But this is also part of the excitement. You never know in a live broadcast what is going to happen. You can't predict it. You can't prepare for it. And it's all part of the fun, really. So no, I do not panic on the outside. I think that's fair to say. I rarely panic on screen. Inside, different thing. Okay, this is the answer to the two problems. This is the Hohem iSteady gimbal. And just let me make a few changes. I've just noticed that if I close that, and I'm going to close that. I'm back in a second. Okay, I'm back now. And I'm going to stop the screen share because I don't need the screen share. I'm going to stop. I have two screen shares going. Okay, how'd that happen? Okay, we're back to the camera now. Basically, what you do with a gimbal is you take it out of its box and out of its carrying case. It's got quite a swish. It's got quite a swish carrying case. Yeah. Okay, that goes into my rucksack. Simple as that. To activate this, and I need my second camera here, so I'm going to switch my second camera on. Okay, and I'm going to go off picture in picture in a moment. Your phone goes, take its case off first. Yeah, take the case off. Put the phone into the clamp on the gimbal. Just pull that apart like that and put the phone in. Yeah, with the lens at the top. Okay, the phone rests on that little ledge there and it's on the top. Now, that's the first thing you do. Okay, and I'm going off solo. I hope I'm going off solo. Just want to switch this camera on. Okay, and we should see a change in a minute. Not that camera. I told you, Mike, I've got backups of backups here. I've got another camera I can actually show you. In fact, I'm going to take that full screen. Okay, this is my, well, I'm looking at the camera now. This is the camera that's in my Microsoft Surface Book 2, which is down the carousel, 16 gig of RAM, terabyte hard drive, twin graphics processors, brilliant piece of kit. This is the Hohem gimbal. And what you need to do is you've got your phone in there, just pretend that the phone's in there. And then what you do is you switch it on. The control panel's on the front. Bottom right is the power switch, but don't switch it on while you're holding it. The first thing that a gimbal needs to do when you switch it on is calibrate. And if you've got this, it won't calibrate properly. You need, and thanks to Marco for this, you need it on a steady surface. Now that can be a desking, as I've got now. It can be a bench. It can be a flat rock. Anything that's flat. You put this OM iSteady gimbal on with your phone in, and then you just press the on button. It then calibrates and you're ready to go. And then you can go to your phone. Yeah, go to your phone, which is in the gimbal, and you can press record, or as I do, because I go, as I told you earlier, I actually go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and my website. I've got a piece of software called Astra Streaming Studio, and that broadcasts out to the world. Yeah. So what is it's the added excitement of going live on your phone to the world. I'll do a separate broadcast about that, but for the moment, you've got it on a steady surface. You switched it on. You can, with the control panel, zoom in, zoom out, pan left, pan right, tilt up, tilt down. Okay, all the controls are on the control panel at the front, and it's easy to actually operate. Most of the time, though, I switch it on, start the software on the camera, on the mobile phone, and go, and video. Yeah, okay, and that is. Oh, just a minute. You might be wondering. That's the gimbal. That's the. What else can you see? Oh, you can see the cup. Okay, we should have got tea in it, of course, because we're in England. That's got tea. The cup has got tea in it. On the wall, you can see an Under Armour rucksack, which isn't in the carousel. It should be. And you can see a picture of Avebury Stone Circle. If you're wondering where that picture is of, it's of Avebury Stone Circle, built 4,500 years ago, like Stonehenge. And we visit it 2 or 3 times a year, and I take my gimbal with me. Okay, so back to me. Now, I can show you how wonderful this gimbal is. I can talk about it, but much better if I can actually show you it working. So what I've got down in my carousel is a video, and I'm going to have a look through the videos I've got, and I'm going to select one at random. He said, well, not sort of random. I decided earlier, I think I decided earlier which one I was going to use. Okay, and we're going to use this one. I can't find the other one. Let's put this. Okay, so I'm going to show you a video shot using the home gimbal. Yeah, just let me catch up for a second. Bit of setting up, be with it. Just okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that. This video was created using the home gimbal. Okay, and just let me change again to there. And we are going to visit, well, rather than talk about it, I'm going to play the video without any further ado. Let's go. As I say, what about broadcasting, I try not to photograph people. I try to photograph the sites. So this area is used by the Logitech Allotment Association. Right, let's come round. And this is where the gardeners, well, I said Logitech already, you know where I am. When I've been live on Amazon Live on Tuesdays, I've been doing English country houses and castles, and every time I have shown you the National Trust website with Logitech Abbey. Well, today we're there. This is Logitech Abbey. We're just going to the gardens first, and then we're going to take a tour of the exterior of the Abbey. I've just been told that the upper rooms, I'm not sure whether I can photograph or not, actually close in 2 minutes. We're not going to make it. So here are the gardens at Logitech Abbey. And again, go out in the garden, look at the beautifully tended borders against the wall. I've not been down here before. Let's go down here because I can show you something. Okay, in the 1700s, the Abbey, which we will see in a minute, became the home of Mr. Fox Talbot. And Mr. Fox Talbot was a scientist, and dedicated to him within that building there is a museum of photography with cameras from the 1700s onwards, and it is well worth a visit. As I say, we're at Logitech Capture and very close to the M4 if you ever get round this way. So let's go out of this particular garden. This is where everything is organised from, and it's a beautiful summer's day. Just to let you know, it's the 22nd of August, and Angelica is out in Avery Village. She's going to the National Trust shop. We've just enjoyed a wonderful lunch at the National Trust restaurant, and it's given me the energy to actually come out here. Now I'm going to keep the camera on the left hand side because there are people coming towards me, and I'm going to head off over the grass. So these are the gardens that actually surround the Abbey, and as you can see from the height of the trees, they've been here quite some time. And there's a signpost here. Let's read the signpost. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap places. Okay, so that was shot using the home gimbal. Okay, and that's the difference. That is the difference between an amateur video and a semi-professional video, is the gimbal. The gimbal makes all the difference. I'll show you a bit more of the video in a minute. But if I'd shot that just holding my camera on my mobile phone, it would have been up and down all the time. Okay, this gimbal, the home gimbal, down the carousel at the moment, removes most of the movement. Not all of it. We're not TV cameramen, but we are pretty good at what we do. Just a second. And that's locked. Okay, so this Logitech Abbey. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the video back. I'm just going to fast forward and show you a little bit more. So let's put the video full screen again. And this time, if I take that title off, I'm going to fast forward the video, he said, hopefully. No. So we know where we are. Abbey grounds to the left, Abbey entrance straight on. Okay, back to me. Mike asked earlier, what do you do when things go wrong, when things don't work exactly as you want them to? The thing is, don't panic, just carry on. Okay, so that's the home gimbal, and that was Logitech Abbey. Now, Logitech Abbey is the home of photography. If you visit my county, which is Wiltshire in England, Logitech Abbey is worth a visit because that's where the first ever photograph was taken by Henry Fox Talbot. He took a photograph out the window, and in those days it was developer, fixer, and wash. Remember the old photography studios? Same principle. Still the same today. You've got to go through the different baths to actually get a photo at the end. He was using plates at the time. It's a fascinating place to visit. It is a former nunnery, and until Henry VIII dissolved the monasteries and the nunneries. It was a working nunnery. It was also, after the nuns left, it was given to one of the lords of the manor, and he took it over. And then eventually it came to the Fox Talbot family, and that's where the first photograph was taken. And in addition to that, Logitech Abbey was the setting for some of the Harry Potter films. And in one of the rooms of the Abbey is a cauldron that was one of the props on Harry Potter. So if you visit Logitech Abbey, not only do you get the history of Wiltshire and the nunnery, and the photography is a brilliant photography museum you can visit. Okay, and it has cameras. As I said in the narrative, it has cameras from, incredibly, from the 1800s and 1900s. Okay, from the birth of photography, well before we got involved. But it was the start of what we're doing today, which is live video. And just let me put that down and go to my iPad. Okay, and press that, and see, Mike, I don't panic. Okay, thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live. Now, the next thing we're going to look at, you'll notice in that video that I just showed you, when I did that video, I did a voiceover. Now, trying to do a voiceover from your phone, if you use your phone to do the voiceover, you can put it in monodirectional, so it just picks up your voice. It's not the same quality as, definitely not the same quality as using an external. Everything's going wrong now, Mike. It's not the same quality as using an external lapel mic. This is a totally different game. This is the difference between an amateur video and a pro to semi-pro video, is the voiceover. If I'd done the voiceover just using my phone, the microphone isn't strong enough to cut out everything that's going on around me, even though it's going to be single direction. It's not the same quality as having an external lapel microphone. Now, this is the Power Device external microphone, which I used on the video. Okay, and it is a top quality microphone. And it's the difference between amateur and professional. Now, this is it. This is the lapel microphone in its carrying case. And there's some words on the back which say, words can change lives, record them perfectly. That's what this does. This is all about your voice on a mobile video. So this is it. And what we're going to do is take the microphone out of the case, and it's got a nice little tie which stops the cables actually sort of getting too knotted. It's still not perfect. This is the microphone. Okay, this is the lapel microphone. It works simply and straightforwardly by doing this, he said, which you can do. Okay, which you can do very quickly. Okay, just going to stand up a minute. Okay, so there's the lapel microphone in place. That's exactly how it works. And what happens is it picks up your voice first. You still get the background noise, but it's dimmed. And your voice is the voice that's actually heard. And that's what you're after. When you're doing a narration of a video, you want to be heard. This microphone works well. And the only thing you need to do to get this microphone to work is to take the audio cable and your phone, and he said, put the two together. That's it. Okay, simply putting that cable in cuts out the internal microphone on your mobile phone. Mobile phone can be Android or iOS or iPhone. Okay, just put in the cable there, and that's it. Microphone on the phone is cut out, and the one that's working now is the one that's attached to my shirt. And that's basically how I was able to do the voiceover on this video, is by using this microphone connected to my mobile phone. Now, to answer your question, connect it before you put it in the gimbal. Okay, that's a tip. Do connect it before you put it in the gimbal. And you're then getting top quality recorded sound, which means you can then put the video, because you're in a gimbal, it's not shaking, because you use the microphone, your voice is clear, and you can then put the video up on YouTube and people can watch it. People can watch my videos which are about Stonehenge, about Avebury, about Laycock, you've just seen, all the places we visit, Anglica and I, castles, country houses and national monuments. I take a video goes on YouTube, people watch it. But they only watch it because the video is good. Cameras these days on mobile phones are awesome. Yeah, better than the webcams. Simple and straightforward to use. Just plug it in. As soon as you take it out again, microphone on the phone starts working. Simple and straightforward to do. And those two elements, the gimbal and this, I'll take it off again just to show it comes off. Yeah, I'm going to take this off again. This is the Power Device, the Pearl microphone that fastens on your lapel. In summer, it fastens on your t-shirt or shirt. In winter, it fastens on your outer clothing. You are your own absorber of sound. Yeah, it works well. The first thing that sound that's heard through this microphone is you. So you can do voiceovers, you can do narrations using this microphone. Now, a little thing as important as that is that when I got started, I do courses on Udemy. Yeah, I do training courses about live video, and I've got 16,000 students on Udemy, all learning about live video and about BeLive in particular, because today I am broadcasting from, just a minute, we'll get there. I'm broadcasting from BeLive, my BeLive studio, where you've seen I can play YouTube video, I can show images on screen, I can show agenda items on screen, I can have 8 different things on screen. Yeah, with BeLive. I work for BeLive, by the way, as a content creator. But I do Udemy courses about live broadcasting. I've done several courses about BeLive, which are on Udemy. But the thing about it is that when I wanted to do my Udemy courses, they are very strict on quality. If you're going to buy a training course, you want to know that the video is good and the sound is good. That's what you want to know. Yeah. And the thing is, if you're watching a training course on Udemy, you're actually listening more than you're watching. Yeah, because if you're teaching somebody, it's not about the moving video, it's about what's in the words. So the sound is important. And when I first started 4 or 5 years ago, Udemy said, can do one of two things. You can take your microphone and you can put a guard on it, you can put a screen around it, you can soundproof your walls, okay, all the way around, ceiling as well, soundproof the whole room. They said, if you want courses on Udemy, soundproof your room, which is a bit expensive, really, because when you start doing Udemy courses, you don't know whether you're going to make any money. So you're not going to invest thousands on soundproofing your room, are you? All this said, what you can actually do is you can get yourself a lapel microphone, and we're happy with that. So I went off and got this lapel microphone, and all my Udemy courses, before I got an external microphone, a real one, all my Udemy courses were recorded using the lapel microphone. The quality was acceptable to Udemy. So if you're doing any work on your computer and you're looking for a first low-cost microphone, this microphone not only plugs into your phone, it will plug into your PC or Mac as well, and it will work just as well. So it's not just for mobile, it's for the week. And if you haven't already got an external microphone, this is a great first external microphone to buy. And today, he said, going over to the iPad again, going over to the iPad, it is $35.45, which is 41% off. And I've got to tell you that $35.45 for the microphone is a darn good price. Okay, 41% discount. It is this one, Power Device. So if you click the link in the carousel, it'll take you off to the Power Device page. Right, okay, a word about the carousel. Whilst I'm talking, and thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live, I really do appreciate your being here. While I'm taking time out of your day, you're good, thank you. And just a note, just a reminder, if you joined me recently, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Rome and Mike for the comments. And I'm going to go over to my menu and say this is Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen Healey, and you're undoubtedly watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. Now, I broadcast live on Amazon Live every weekday, 9 AM Eastern, apart from the next 2 weeks when I'm off to Germany for a couple of weeks. So I'll be back. I'm here tomorrow, so I'll tell you about that tomorrow. And I'm broadcasting using Be Live. Okay, that gives me the flexibility to play video and a whole host of things from my desktop. Anything else? Okay, we spoke about Logitech Capture earlier. If you've got any Logitech camera, do go to logitech.com, download Logitech Capture software. It's free. You bought the camera. The software is free. Just go and download it. Okay, and the next point, thank you for watching me live. I really mean that. This is I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking about the products in the carousel. I enjoy exchanging knowledge. I enjoy networking. I've made hundreds of friends around the world just through live video. People I won't meet in the real world, but I know very well and become firm friends in the virtual world. Just a reminder, the Logitech C920x down the carousel includes 3 months of XSplit VCam. We actually looked at that. And all the videos, the video you watched earlier was created using the HOEM iSteady gimbal, which is down the carousel. So that's a reprise. Okay, let's move on to something new. Well, first of all, a bit of housekeeping. Okay. If you've got any questions, yeah, then please do ask. I'm here to ask questions. What you're watching is a free resource on Amazon Live. We are independent broadcasters. We have been selected to be here. We go through an approval process to actually broadcast live. There are 4 of us who actually broadcast from England. There's myself, Nick Wood, Grant Saunders, and Howard. I'm just putting things away because I want to tidy something up. Just give me a second. Okay, but I enjoy having a chat and to actually showing you things. And believe you me, I watch a lot of the Amazon Lives to learn. Yeah, I go to the Discover button, I go to the Browse button, and I just watch live video. Oh, but down in the carousel, one of the things that we do need to have, even with everything we've got on the internet, even with Google Drive and OneDrive and Drive, is our own storage. Yeah, to back up your PC or Mac. Down in the carousel, you'll find a Toshiba. Okay, just scroll along the bottom and you'll find the Toshiba. Also down there. Okay, and this. Okay, I'm going to put. Okay, that's another Lavelle microphone. Okay, I'm not sure where that one is though, so I can't show you that. Right, I think I've cleared up now. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my second camera in. Just give me a second. I know you've been very patient with me. I do appreciate it. It will be worth it. I'm just looking for a camera. Just a minute. Is it that one? Okay, I'm going to take any camera, I think. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to hide that video, and I'm going to bring another camera in there and take myself off solo, switch that off. And what do you know? I got it right. Now I need to do one more thing before I talk about this. And that is to switch the lights on. So now you can see over here. I'm going to go picture in picture. I'm using my second camera, which is the Elgato Tiny. I'll come on to that in a minute. But if I go here, okay, I'm now shrunk. Okay, so this is my desktop and this is live. Okay. This is the Logitech Litra Lite we talked about earlier. I'm going to put that back where it lives, on top of the monitor. Okay, so that's on top of the monitor and it's safe, easy to do. That's the USB hub that I use. So I've got two cameras. If I just put that full screen for a second, into the hub there, I've got two cameras and one microphone, which is how I can have two cameras on screen. Okay, but I want to show you this. Okay, and I'm going down to the carousel. Just give me a second. As we move on to the next item I'm talking about today, which is now in the carousel as the featured item. The featured item is always bottom left of the carousel, and it's got a border around it. Okay, it's highlighted. Okay, so this is my work surface, and my Osbot Tiny camera is actually pointing at the surface. Were you wondering what the Osbot is? This is it. Osbot Tiny camera is my second camera. It's the one that's here. Okay. But what I want to do now is to announce the arrival of this. And my voice will change slightly as I'm doing this. But this is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. I'm going to turn it away. Well, I'm going to leave it there. It has controls. You can put a mic in to actually listen to the output. It has voice level controls. I've set this to the level that I want it at. But this is by Elgato, who make the Stream Deck. And I'll go to the story behind this. You are in the best place to learn about microphones. And I'm not talking about my broadcast. You are in the very best place on Amazon Live to learn about microphones. I'm going to show you my microphone. But when you watch other Amazon Live broadcasters, I hope you do, you're going to hear their microphones, and you're going to hear different qualities of sound from every single Amazon Live broadcast you watch. But you're hearing it. You're hearing the broadcast. And what happens is when you hear a microphone, well, I'll tell you the story. I do panel shows on Facebook, and I invite guests, and I invited 3 guests. I invited Christa Boven from Belgium, who's a good friend. I invited Rick Glover from the USA, and I invited Alec Dorling from Sweden. And I asked them, I said, what I'd like you to do is please bring your microphones. Yeah. Sorry, I've done it again. Chris brought the blue snowball. Rick brought his headset. But Alec brought the Elgato Wave 3. And I heard Alec on the live broadcast, and I was blown away by the quality of the sound, the depth, the tone, the richness. And you've been listening to this microphone throughout the broadcast, and there is no better demonstration than that. Yeah, you're listening to it now as it shudders out the way. I'll bring it back again. That's it. Okay, very stylish. And I got this because I was listening to Alec, And I said, which microphone do you have? And he said, I have got the Elgato Wave 3 premium USB condenser microphone. It has got a digital mixer for streaming. It has a clip guard. It's got a built-in clip guard. You know the plosives, the S and the Ps. Then it's got a clip guard which prevents those actually ever making it live to the broadcast. So I just said this is the only bad thing about the whole shebang, is that the microphone has a capacitive mute. I had to look it up too. Basically, rather than having a button, I can just waft my hand over there, and it can switch the microphone on and off. Yeah, so I don't have to press a button. I can now tell you a true story about capacitive mute. I was doing an Amazon Live broadcast. I was well into it. I was in my flow, and I had no sound on my microphone. That's because, whilst demonstrating something else, my hand had brushed the top of the microphone. Yeah, my hand brushed the top of the microphone. So but in the next version of the video, I got right, for most intents and purposes, when you set the microphone off, you don't need the off switch. Okay, most folks can manage without it, but for me, I need occasionally to mute myself. That's the only down point. Everything else about the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, it's a condenser capsule with a light cardioid polar pattern, captures speech with precision. It does everything that it says there. Now, I couldn't possibly memorize all that, so I wrote it down. So it's a condenser capsule with a tight cardioid polar pattern, captures speech. If I go closer to the microphone, you'll hear how clear it is. Now, they do say that you actually need to be 2 hands away from the microphone, just like that. That's the distance you need to be away from the microphone. I'm just a little bit more than that, but it's still working well. The microphone itself was released in July 2020, and it's a very good, high quality microphone. Okay, and I just love the microphone. So you've been listening to it possibly for the last hour and 47 minutes, possibly not. But I just want to say, as I take that off screen, that you've been listening to me on an Elgato Wave 3 premium USB condenser microphone. And back to me, and switch off that. Okay. Now, the next item I'm going to go to is this. Okay, and you're watching me now. The camera you're watching me on is a Logitech Brio. Okay, if I go here, this is actually my OBSBot Tiny, and if I go and I click this button, you will see me on the OBSBot Tiny. So just so that we know, my name is not OBSBot Tiny, but this is the OBSBot Tiny camera. This is my second camera. Most of its life, it actually spends looking down at the desktop, but it also is an amazing first camera as well. And if I didn't have the Brio, this is definitely in the contest for being my main camera. It is 720p and 1080p. Okay, I'm broadcasting to you now at 720p. It's capable of 1080. If I was to go live on YouTube, I'd go live at 1080. Better resolution, more pixels, and you'd see even more of me. Yeah. It was released and then funded on Indiegogo, and it is a very versatile camera. This is the most versatile camera I've met. Its field of vision is 90 degrees, but this camera is mounted on a gimbal, which means the gimbal can swivel, which means that the 90 degrees can change. Yeah, just to give you an example of this. This is me that you're watching now on the OBSBot Tiny. But if I click this button here, you can go to my desktop. Okay, so the Obspot is now focused on my desktop, and there's the TP-Link deco, there are my plants, there's the microphone we just talked about. I've not switched it off, no. That's its second setting. So this camera is capable of actually, and I'm going to go there. So it's going to go me, and then it's going to go to the wall. And there's the picture of Avebury Stone Circle. And as you can see, this camera is very, very versatile. Okay, it has, just come back to me again. It has 3 presets, which means that you can choose exactly what you're going to show on screen. You can switch between one and another using this camera. And for broadcasting to Amazon Live, broadcasting to Facebook, YouTube, this is a great camera to use. And it's what we've seen so far with the 3 presets, the being on a gimbal gives it more versatility than a camera that's actually fixed on top of your monitor. Now, even this one is fixed on top of the monitor, it can do a lot more. And let me show you. What I'm going to do is this, and just bear with me a second. I just want to test something's working. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to switch back to this is back to the Logitech Brio camera, and what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to stand up. Okay, now the Logitech Brio camera hasn't got a clue where I'm going. Okay, the Logitech Brio camera has totally lost me. Yeah, it's not showing my face. But look at this. The Obspot Tiny, though. The Obspot Tiny has followed my every movement. Yeah, and it's been tracking me as I move about the room. The camera actually tracks me. Okay, if I go just a minute. As I move about the room, the camera is tracking me. It's making sure I've got headroom. It's making sure I'm framed properly. It's making sure my face is lit properly. Wherever I move in the room, this camera is adjusting automatically. This means that you can give a presentation from stage. Turn the camera upside down. You've got a teacher on stage. This camera will track the teacher over the stage as they move about demonstrating. This is a very versatile camera. I love it. It's the most fun. I'll come back to here for a second. It's the Brio doesn't know where I am. The Brio is not happy until I move my chair back. Okay, we're getting there in a second. So I move my chair back and sit down. Now the Brio knows where I am. But the Obspot has no. Okay, just a minute. The Obspot has known where I am the whole time. Yeah. Sorry, that didn't. That was going to work perfectly. I had it all sussed. I knew. Yeah, it was close. Yeah, but the Obspot Tiny is really because of its versatility, because it can film you stood up and sitting down. It's just fun. It's a fun camera. It's a practical camera. Yeah, it's got 390. If I stood over in the corner, you could actually see me. Okay, so I can present stood up using this. This is a conference camera as well. Yeah, this is a Obspot Tiny PTZ camera. Pan, tilt, and zoom. Pan, tilt, zoom. Okay, now this camera, just let me tell you a little bit more about it, because I think this is to have a PTZ camera for $199, unknown before this was launched. Yeah, just a minute. I need to do something. Let's go back to me and let's lock it. I don't. Yeah, it's likely to move about. So let's look at the Obspot Tiny. Okay, its official title, if I hide its name, So I'm going to hide its name. It's the Obswap Tiny PTZ camera. Yeah. In summary, okay, this is my aid memoir, so I don't miss anything when I'm talking about it. It's AI-powered framing and gesture control. Okay. If I go like that, it will stop tracking me. If I go like that, it will start tracking me. If I go like that, it will zoom in. If I go like that, it will zoom out. Okay, 2 hand gestures. It is a full HD 1080p camera with a mind of its own. Okay, with a mind of its own. This is more fun than, right? Okay, it's got dual omnidirectional microphones. You're not listening to those at the moment, as you know, you're actually listening to the Elgato Wave 3. It also has 90-degree wide angle, but because it's on the gimbal, it's got a series of 90 degrees. Yeah, it can tilt, it can go pan left and right, and then it's so versatile. Like the cameras we looked at earlier, if I turn the lights off, and I'm going to turn my Logitech Litra light off, yeah, the camera will compensate. Yeah, it will make me brighter. Yeah, and the other thing here now, that they do update the software for this camera, and in addition to low light correction, it's now got auto exposure on your face. And if I look at the video footage from even a couple of weeks ago, I look better now on camera. This is such high quality engineering. I'm blown away by how good it is. But that's just me. Well, it is me. Low light correction it has. We've seen the fact I can stand up and move about. It's powered by AI. It's got a privacy control. You know, the Logitech cameras have got a sort of thing on the front where you can just switch them off. This has got privacy because you can actually turn the camera off physically. Okay, and it's got a sleep mode. If I want the camera to go to sleep, then it will go to sleep after a timeout if I'm not using it, or I can put it into sleep mode until I need it again. It's got three preset positions, which we have seen. Okay, so desktop, me, hello, and the wall. I haven't decided what to do with that preset yet. Okay, so it's got 3 preset positions. It's got headroom mode. Okay, now what the software does, I'm just making sure I've got headroom mode switched on, is that it'll automatically give you headroom. As you move, it adjusts the headroom. We said earlier that if you're presenting on camera, you want to be in the middle of the stage. And the other thing is you want headroom. Being on camera like that is not a good idea. As you can see, what's actually happening is that it's automatically adjusting the headroom, which is very important in terms of framing. I just want to go back to where I was because I'm demonstrating things, the camera is moving about a little bit. That's the new one. That's the face auto exposure, which has changed the quality of the broadcast, really. I'll give you an example next time I'm live. I'm live again tomorrow at 9 AM Eastern. Look forward to seeing you. And noise reduction on the microphones. And coming up the home straight now, in terms of what this camera can do. And it's got motion mode, we've seen that. It's got auto sleep, goes because it's off after 10 minutes. And it's got a 2-axis gimbal, which you've seen actually working. And also, it's got a magnetic mount. It mounts on your desktop, magnetic mount, camera goes on top. Okay. Now, this is a final thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the software that actually, because I love it when a piece of hardware has software that controls it. So if you let me, I'll just share my screen. Okay. And this time when I do the screen share, and it takes a second or two to come up, I'm actually going to share the software that I've been using in the background to actually achieve the magic. This is the tracking software. This is the software for the HubSpot Tiny. Okay, and I'm going to turn that camera. I'm going to turn that camera off. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to go side by side, and I'm going to change up here so you can actually see what's going on. So there we have it. We are now side by side. Okay, so me on the left, software on the right. These are the software controls. And as you can see, you've got the 3 presets at the bottom. You've got the desktop, which is that desktop. Just a minute, I need to press the right buttons. I just need to tidy that up. You've got the desktop. Okay, and if I press the desktop button, then it will go down. Oh, good. Don't you love it when a demonstration goes right? I've been jinxed today. Just give me a second. Okay, and wait a minute. Just a minute. I need to do something. Okay, just a second. I'm not going anywhere, but what I need to do is take that off. Okay, and I need to actually show you this camera and switch this camera off. We got there. Can I start again? Okay. Ever since my cast, whether things ever go wrong, just let me go here. Okay. Right. So the camera is controlled by the software and by the controller. So this is me. Yeah, I'm clicking the Stephen button. Then I've got the desktop button, which takes it down to the desktop. Then I've got the wall button, which takes it over to the wall. So that's the 3 presets. Okay. In addition to that, if I go to the wall one, I can actually adjust where the camera is looking at using the control there. Okay, so we're using the control there, and we're going to go up, and we're going to try and center on that picture, and then I can click on that 3rd location, and I can now say update. So when I go to me, it comes to me. When I go to location 3, it goes to the adjustment I just made. So this is without doubt a very versatile camera. And if I go here, you can see if I pull this over here, that they do update the software very frequently. You can put it for auto sleep. I've got it switched off after 10 minutes. It's got the gesture control for zoom and for movement. And it also has the face auto exposure new feature on. So in essence, that is the HubSpot Tiny camera. It is a brilliant camera. It is so versatile. We've used that phrase several times today. It is such a versatile camera that I do say, just take a look at it, click the link in the carousel to find out more. There is a new HubSpot, which is the HubSpot 4K, which is a 4K camera, which means like the Brio, it can do 4K and it can do 4 times zoom. Yeah. Right. Okay. You have been watching. Just a minute. Let's go back here and go over here. You're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. Okay. I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live today. And I forgot to do something. No, every time I move now, that's tracking me. I need to adjust 2 bits of software before I go anywhere. Okay. I'm going to go on. I'm going to switch cameras. Okay. You've been watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. It's my pleasure to actually be here on Amazon Live. If you've any questions, then you can ask me anytime. I'm live 9 AM tomorrow morning. I look forward to seeing you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye for now.